Yeah. All right, cool. Well, I asked you what you thought your best bird of the day was going to be, and you gave me a suggestion, and I thought you were insulting me. I'm like, I just asked for
Yeah.
a bird of the day. Why are you calling me that? And then I realized that wasn't
It
an
was the
insult.
bird.
It was the bird. Today's bird of the day is a yellow-bellied sapsucker. Look at this yellow-bellied sapsucker. He's such
Bird.
a coward, and he's sucking sap. Look at him. Look at him, a smug little guy. Look at the holes in that
Hello.
tree. Look at
Yeah,
he made those holes.
he's gone to work on that tree.
That guy's been doing some work.
Like he's clocked in at 9 and he ain't leaving till he's done.
Yeah, he got a little bug in his mouth, but also sap. You know, man, just a devastating little bird. Poor tree. Poor tree.
Very poor tree. I'm very curious on how long it took the bird to do that. Because like, how long it took him to do that very much makes me either terrified or fine.
Yeah. How
Like,
dedicated
that took him an
is this?
hour. I'm like, what? Don't let him near any trees ever.
I have a feeling this is several weeks worth of work. Like
I
maybe he
hope
does like
so.
a hole a day to try and get the sap out of that hole, and just I don't
A
know.
hole a day keeps the COVIDs away.
Yeah. Well, these are. Hey, where's the map? I thought I put a map on there.
No map for you.
No map.
These
for
birds don't
me.
exist.
Well, these guys are about 7.5 to 8.5 inches long, and 13.5 to 15.5 inch wingspan. So, I mean, that's gonna put them like, well, American robin sized. I don't know what an equivalent sized bird over in. Do you even know what an inch is?
Yes.
Okay, good. They only weigh about 1.7 ounces, and they live 6 to 7 years. And obviously, they are called a yellow-belly sapsucker because, well, they
Cowards.
You see, got a little. Well, no, it's because they got a little bit of yellow on their belly. And yeah, you see it there. They're mostly black, white, and red. Hey, I guess we didn't say this earlier. They're a type of woodpecker.
Oh yeah.
Could you guess that?
That just something gave that away.
Could you guess
This
that?
one hasn't got like the red crest like the other one did.
Probably because this one is a female.
Oh.
So
They have
the
got, like, a
big
very
red
striking
crest on the
puff of
head
yellow.
is the males, and the females still have a little bit of red on their heads, but not as much. The males have
See, like
more
a little
reds than the
feather.
females. So this little sapsucker right here is a lady. But yeah, they're
Following the
very
bird
similar in
trend of
appearance
men
to the
colourful.
downy woodpecker, the northern woodpecker, but with a little bit of extra yellow. Now, if you're
Very
wondering
striking yellow
where do they
temperature.
live, since I don't have the map, well, they are going to be they are a North American bird, and their breeding season is going to have them up in Canada and some parts of the northern U.S., so like in North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, New York, Maine, Vermont, those areas there. And they're actually going to cover most of Canada, like literally, there's even like little bits of the breeding area in little bits of Alaska, all the way over to Prince Edward Island. So
Damn,
lots.
so like
Yeah,
super wide range.
they're in almost every territory of Canada, territory
Are
and
they, like-
province.
Common, or they just have a very large area?
Very large area. Well, then they also have during the non-breeding season, where they spend the winters, they're going to hang out in the southeastern United States. But also down in eastern Mexico, down into the Yucatan. You'll even see some of them in Cuba and, the island of Dominica and Hispaniola and even all the way down to Panama. And then there's a kind of a
Nothing
yellow
along, like,
stripe in the
Midwest
middle
places
that
like that.
includes like Iowa and Illinois, kind of a little stripe through there. And that's a migration season area. So if you're in the southeastern United States or Mexico right now, you might be seeing these fellas, but you're not going to see them up in Minnesota right now. It's way past breeding season. Way past breeding season. So, yes, they are migratory birds. So,
They're very nice birds.
yep. So, as you can see there, so, like in this picture here, the top picture is a male. The little guy sticking his head out of the tree there is a male. And the one who's kind of clinging to the tree is a female. Because you notice how the males have so much more red on them? That's how you
Yeah.
tell the difference.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just the photo, but they also seem to have more yellow.
Yeah, a little bit more yellow. A little bit more yellow. I mean, that's true for a lot of birds that, you
Men
see.
gotta be flashy.
Gotta be flashy, because that's kind of how they do it. They being colorful, and also, so here's one of the things. The males, one of the ways that they attract the female is by making a suitable nest. So they'll find a tree, and that hole that guy's sticking his head out of, that wasn't a hole that was already in the tree. He made that. 2 weeks of dedicated work of pecking and throwing out the sawdust. They make a hole in a tree, and the females will be like, I'm looking for a place to lay my eggs. Ooh, you got a nice hole there, buddy. And he'll show off his hole and show off his feathers, and then once they mate, they are going to, become a
Have
pair
eggs.
for the season. Now, most of the time, they find a new mate every single season, but it has been observed. It's not rare, but it's not common either. So just kind of every
It
once in a while,
happens.
you're going to see them. The male and the females will repeat courtship over the same year.
See,
And
that
they've
makes
been
me
able to-
curious. Like, is that just a case of they just happen to find each other and happen to flirt each other again, or
Yeah, kind of. Because
You know, you
during the
never know.
migration season, they kind of go apart, but then they're going to go back to where they were, and they might run into each other again. It's like, oh my God, Daryl, Karen, we had such great babies last year. We should do that again. Yeah. And yeah,
I like the reenactment of bird flirting?
that's
10 out of
how it
10.
works. How it works.
Yeah. Can confirm.
So yeah, the male's gonna do most of it in terms of carving it out, and then the female's gonna lay 4 to 7 eggs inside of there in their little nest. And while the eggs are there, both parents are gonna take turns incubating. So dad incubates while mom's eating, and vice versa. And once the babies are born, both parents are going to bring food to the little fellers and feed them. So that's nice. Good parenting from both parents. We like to see that. And apparently, while the chicks are hatching, if it starts to get crowded in there, the male will make the house bigger, do some renovations. Like, oh, we got more kids than we thought. Time to do some renovations around here. I think I'm gonna add a second wing to this nest.
It gets really excited. Oh boy, extension! Extension!
Yes.
Gets out of conservatory!
You were saying that we didn't need another room, honey. Well, we need another room. I'm gonna dig another room, and meanwhile,
I'm gonna headbutt
she's
as
just
an
sitting there
ensuite.
trying to take care of the kids, and he's sitting there loudly hammering his head against the house. It's gotta be quite annoying. But
It's like the trade-off. Like, you can build your own house in 2 weeks, but you do have to headbutt the house into existence.
yeah, but I mean, they're woodpeckers. It's what they do. Now I don't have it on here because we've covered woodpeckers in the past before, but we'll mention it again. That woodpeckers have a different biology in their skulls.
The tongue depressor.
Yeah, their
Headbutt
tongue
actor.
works as literally like a shock absorber for their brain. It's weird, but it works.
It's cool how it works until you start considering that their tongue, not physically, but does wrap around their brain, and then that upsets me.
Yeah, it's like they're able to just slam their head against something all day and not get a headache. It's pretty impressive. But yes, as we said starting this one, their common name does make for an excellent insult. I mean, come on, calling somebody a yellow-bellied sapsucker, it's just great.
It's
great insult.
honestly why I chose it, because it sounds like an insult someone would yell in like Prohibition times.
Yeah,
Just that kind
you
of-
yellow-bellied sapsucker.
Yeah, that's exactly why. I loved it for that, and I was like, yeah, I'm
Mhm.
being asked for bird. I want to know more about this bird.
Mm-hmm. But of course, saying
how
somebody
better
is
to learn about
yellow-bellied implies cowardice. Well, it turns out these guys are not cowards at all. They will attack animals much, much larger than they are in order to defend their territories.
Oh, I love
They're aggressive little guys. They will drive off other birds and other animals that they think might be getting in on their food or their territory, or might be a threat to their babies. These guys are anything but yellow-bellied when it comes to temperament. It's
And I changed my answer about favorite bird earlier. I want these now.
Yeah, well, okay. I mean, I've never seen a yellow-bellied sapsucker VTuber. I'd like to see that,
Yeah, there's a lot of like variation of birds you just haven't seen. Like, I know a lot of crows. I know no yellow-bellied sapsuckers. Where are my
I know-
yellow-bellied sapsuckers?
I don't
at?
think I've seen a single woodpecker of any type VTuber. I'm
Where's
sure there's some out there.
Sapsucker VT, huh?
Yeah. I mean, you go into the bird server, and it's just like corvid, corvid, parrot, corvid, owl, parrot, owl, owl, duck, chicken, chicken, owl, corvid, corvid. It's I'm not
There's a
wrong,
lot of
Dreyfrig.
corvids.
You know I'm not
There's a
wrong.
lot of corvids. There are some other birds. It's mostly corvids.
We had a woodpecker
like
once
one
upon a time, but
pigeon.
they left.
Yeah,
I
there's,
mean,
like, one
okay, there's
pigeon.
one secretary bird. She's not really active in it, but we do love Kira. We do love Kira.
We love Kira.
Kira's
I don't like. I'll admit, I don't like so. There's too much going on. I can't keep up. They scare me.
All right. Well, these guys, they are omnivorous, but much like their name implies, when they're digging their holes in the trees, they're more going for sap than they are for insects. Now, don't get me wrong. They find a bug in there, they'll be like, sweet. If they find
Basically.
sap and the sap drips onto a bug, oh, chef's kiss for these guys.
Gourmet birds.
Like, can you imagine? Like, you want like candy coated proteins? Oh, that's like that's their absolute favorite. That's gotta be the best thing to do. But sap makes up like 70% of their diet, and then they also have like fruits and nuts, and you know, the occasional insect too. So get a little bit of protein. They especially like to go for the insects during the season when their babies are going, because they like to feed insects to their babies, because that good protein, that's needed for a
good
little baby
protein.
bird to grow up nice, big, and strong. Yes. Very nice. Now you see that we saw the patterns in the trees. Well, that's a specific thing that they do to encourage sap flow. And I don't know how it works, but they make patterns and holes in specific ways that somehow maximizes their ability to get sap out of that tree. That's kind of impressive. I
This
gotta,
is why I love nature.
yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't learn that if I tried. And yet birds just like
Mhm.
no. They just know.
Now, another thing about these guys is that apparently their tapping patterns are very distinct. I can't tell you what they were. I looked for information. I tried to find a video of this. Couldn't find it. But apparently, according to ornithologists, and I found the factoid on several different sources, but saying that their tapping pattern is very different than other woodpeckers, and that a trained ornithologist or bird watcher can identify them simply by the sound of and the pattern of their tapping. So I think that's kind of cool. Yeah. But like all woodpeckers, they can be kind of a pest, because you might have nice trees in your yard and you might have nice wood siding on your house, and woodpeckers are notorious for being like, bong, 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 bong. There's a hole in your shit now. Deal with it. Bye. But
It's okay. They're cute.
But fortunately for them, they are protected by the Migratory Bird Act, and it is illegal to hunt or kill one of these guys. They are protected. And because of that protected status, they are a species of least concern. Their populations have remained stable or grown, so they are not in threat of being extinct. And as long as we keep having trees, these guys are going to be doing just fine. Yay! Which is good, because they are awfully cute.
I
Mm-hmm.
do. They look adorable.
Yeah. Well, the one on the right there is a juvenile. Isn't that cute? He's like,
He's so
Dad,
fluffy."
Dad, Dad, can I have an insect, please? Dad,
No,
Dad.
you haven't eaten your sap yet.
And Dad's just sort of like, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Eat your sap and then you can have the insect.
Yeah. But yeah, my thoughts, I like these little guys. They're very pretty little birds, cute, very super cute. I like that they have kind of their own unique ways of getting food and stuff. I think that's pretty neat. I would not want one as a
Good.
neighbor, because all that constant banging would be annoying as hell.
Oh, yeah, woodpecker's lovely. Never have one as a neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. You see them while you're out birding. Maybe not want to have one on the side of your house, putting holes in your house. But they're good birds. I like them. I'd say. What?
I don't want to imagine living and having just woodpeckers just waking up, and that does not sound like a pleasant existence.
No, it does. So maybe they're like a B+ bird.
Yeah.
Good bird. I like them. I hope you like them. I hope you liked learning about them. And so we're going to call this bird of the day done.